If we want to prepare our learners for this fantastic future with huge competition from Asia, if we want to prepare our learners for jobs that haven't been invented yet, we have to give them these skills. And that's nothing to do with Web 2.0, it's just change to the structure of learning.
At the moment I'm working with Learning and Teaching Scotland as the National Advisor on Learning Technology Futures, covering everything from gaming and education, handheld learning, to social media use.
This year, Vector has decided to change the way we present and share the results of our commissioned research. To engage our key partners outside the world of Vector, we're holding a series of seminars looking at the key themes we feel have current and significant importance.
I think that's the most important thing about all this. It doesn't really matter about the kit, it's the pedagogy behind bringing people together. And all that Web 2 does is make that more fluent in some circumstances.
Web 2, Web 2.0, I think everyone has their own interpretation of what Web 2 actually means. We see it as using the internet as a platform for lightweight services that leverage social interactions. Web 2 has received a great deal of attention in recent years. We know that many young people use Web 2 type tools and services outside of school, although most wouldn't recognise the term. However, discussion on the use of Web 2 in education has tended to either be based on hype or anecdotal evidence, or focuses only on the negative aspects of e-safety.
I think that very often old media tends to report on new media in ways that look at moral panic issues, and they tend to look at potentially illegal incidents. They tend to look at quite scary stories for a lot of adults. In the same way as you wouldn't let your child go into the town centre for the first time without being confident that they can look after themselves, you'll be like that in terms of social networking sites, and they are public spaces. And they carry the same kind of risks and issues as other public spaces. I remember talking to a little girl and asking her, if you were being bullied on your social network site, would you tell your teacher? And the little girl basically said, no, I wouldn't tell my teacher because I don't believe that she'd understand what it was that I was talking about, and I don't feel confident that I would be able to explain it to her.
Of course, we need to take these concerns very seriously and promote and develop safe behaviours for all of our learners. However, there seems to be a growing gap between how learners are using technology outside of school and their experiences within the institution. A range of developments on the web, now characterised as Web 2, are democratising the creation and sharing of content and offering new opportunities for young people to engage and collaborate in socially connected networks of people, data and services. Web 2 approaches may have a role in the personalisation of learning, helping learners to take more control of their learning and to pull down their own customised information, resources, tools and services.
I think one of the exciting advancements we've had in technology over the last few years is the use of Web 2 technologies. And here at Clenbury it plays a significant and very important role in the everyday lives of our children. We use blogging and podcasting. First of all, the school blog, as well as an information tool, it informs parents, the wider community, the rest of the world even, on what we're doing here at Clenbury. We use the Web 2 technologies as an interactive tool to enhance pupil engagement and capabilities. For example, in narrative, the children doing some writing work, they've actually done their writing as part of a literacy lesson.
Okay, good. Delete that. Where are we? It's about these 4 heroes, and they've been chosen for this kind of like trials or something, and have to complete them in about 5 days or something. There's 4 trials for each one of them. Basically, we just press that button to record, that one to play it, fast forward, rewind, back to the beginning, all the usuals. After you finish the podcast, it goes on to Edgy Jam.
It's really fun and it's easy to use. Sometimes the computer might not want to do what you want it to do, but
when you like put in pictures onto it.
But you got to learn to live with that sometimes and just pull through it really.
I think the benefits of using all these technologies is that it's given a different horizon for the children to aim at. They are looking at the benefits of using these technologies in a more industrious, in a more exciting and collaborative way.
That's a good boy. Down.
We identified that children were speaking and listening quite a lot. We had no evidence of it. One thing we ventured into was how could we actually record the evidence? So I explored the possibility of MP3 recorders for the children. So we've now got what's called a roving reporter kits. And children will walk around with MP3 recorders as young as 3, 4, 5-year-olds, recording their thoughts, their ideas about things. And then they'll come back into school and upload it into their little portal.
What materials have you used to make your obstacle course?
ICT has brought just a new dimension to everything, really. We use it in all kinds of areas that we wouldn't have dreamed of using it in years ago, to be honest. And I feel as I'm quite, an older person, should I say, in the job now, it's important for me to keep up with those skills, really, because the children these days are going to be coming through needing those skills. So it's important for me to keep on top of it.
Okay, then today's lesson now, we're going to revise some work we've been doing on angles. We look at how ways in which we can use technologies which are at home. For example, Nintendo DS's. Children all have them at home. Why not bring them into school? Why not look at using the wireless capability of his machines to develop collaboration and enthusiasm with the children? Well done, two of you. One benefit I have seen of ICT is that it's inspired people. It inspires me, my staff, and also the children.
It will be interesting to see what happens when teachers and parents themselves become ever more comfortable in cyberspace and with technology in general. Will there be a synergy of purpose, a meeting of minds, a new energy that transcends the generation gap? I wonder where this is taking us.
There's also this generation that I call the Beeble Boomers. Very different from the 50+ baby boomers. And the Beeble Boomers, rather than perhaps taking to the streets, although they do, make a stand, but they do it in electronic forms. This was the case in Edinburgh, where they wanted to shut down 22 schools. And so I noticed in the news that everyone had the same message. They were going down the street with students against closures. And I thought, that's been organised. But how is it being organised amongst 22 different school communities? And the answer, didn't take long to work out, was Beeble. And at the height, they had nearly 500 members in this Beeble group. Interestingly, the teachers were also at it on Facebook. What was astounding to me, again, 500 odd teachers in this group at its height. But the Facebook group of teachers was completely unaware of the Beeble group of students. The fact that both of them were working with the same kind of technology for the same aim. So although they're using the tools, they're not bringing them into school and talking about them there.
Culture of learning is very much about individuals who work on their own, who take tests on their own, who submit assessments on their own. We've got to think very hard about making some space in the formal education system for giving people credit for being good and effective collaborative team members.
By commissioning research and holding seminars like this, Vector is supporting the hard work of all professionals who want better opportunities for learners.